So we're starting off with an equation in standard form, x squared plus 16x plus 71. All we know from this is what the y-intercept is. This is the y-intercept. So that's convenient to know. Also, we know that since this number is positive, that it opens up. It looks like this. If this number is negative, it flips over. And we call this a minimum. And so our objective here is to go from standard form to vertex form. And there's a couple ways to do that. I think the easiest way is to identify your A. So I'd say A is 1. Identify your B. B is 16. That just says 16. And the formula is you take your B divided by negative 2A. So if I plug in, B is 16. A is 1. So then I get 16 divided by negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Divide those, I get negative 8. This is called the axis of symmetry. It's x equals negative 8. Now what that means is on my parabola, the line that cuts it in half is at x equals negative 8. It's a vertical line. X equals is always vertical. That also means that the x value of the vertex is negative 8. So the vertex is negative 8 comma something. Now in order to find what y value that would be vertex for, all we have to do is plug negative 8 into the original function. So the original function was y equals x squared plus 16x plus 71. But I know that x is negative 8. So I could put negative 8 in for here and for here. And we can see what we get. I would get y is negative 8 squared plus 16 times negative 8 and then we'll add 71. Now I'm just going to type this in a calculator. I mean, it's 64 plus whatever that is plus 71. I'm just going to type that in and see what I get. So parenthesis negative 8 parenthesis square plus 16 times negative 8 plus 71 is 7. So now I could plug in the vertex. I know that y is 7, so I could put 7 into the vertex for the y value. So now that I know the vertex, I could take the vertex, which we just said is negative 8, 7, and I'll write that again just so we don't forget. And I'm going to use the fact that this is h and k. So h refers to the x value of the vertex, k refers to the y value of the vertex. And then the only thing else I need, so I have h is -8, k is 7, and the only other thing I need is the a value, and we know that a is, if we go back to the beginning, a is 1. So I have a is 1, h is -8, k is 7, and the vertex formula says if you take y, a, x minus h squared plus k. So substituting in, a is 1, h is -8. If I plug -8 in here, and it's already negative, it's going to be -8. It's going to change it to +8. And then plus k, and k is 7. So I would call this the vertex form. Before we go any further, let's take the vertex. This is called vertex form. And let's take the standard form that we started with and just make sure that they are the same parabola. So I'm going to type in this one, x squared plus 16x plus 71. And notice, if you look, the y-intercept is 71. We knew the y-intercept was 71 because this says 71. We also knew it was going to open up because a value is 1. Anything that's positive opens up. So now let's go and see what our other one was. Our other one, this is what I think the answer is. And I don't really need the 1, but I'll type in 1. So I'm going to type this in. And you can see that they are the same thing. So I know without a doubt I'm correct. These are just in different forms. And notice the vertex is -8, 7. And that's exactly what I wrote down. So there we go. We went from standard form to what we call vertex form. It's called vertex form because you can look at this and spit out the vertex. The vertex is -8, 7.